Hi everyone, how are you all? So myself Nagappa, you are watching Appa Chemistry classes. Now today's topic in isomers. So far we had seen the three videos. In that structural isomers, we had discussed complete about structural isomers. In the first video we had seen the classification of isomer and chain and positional. Second video we had seen the functional group isomers and metamers. In third video we had seen tautomers and ring chain isomer. That is structural isomers we had seen detailedly with example. Those who not watched, please watch those videos. Those will be found in iCard as well as in the description of this video also you will find those videos. So we'll see the stereoisomers, the next concept of isomers, which is very important. Now we are going to see the stereoisomer. Now what is meant by stereoisomers here? Stereoisomers are nothing but organic compounds having same molecular formula and same connectivity between the atoms. But what happens here? They are having the different spatial arrangement. Okay, na? So for that reason the stereoisomer is also called space isomer. It is also called space isomer. What is meant by space isomer or stereoisomers here? Organic compounds having same molecular formula and same bond connectivity. Okay, and same structural formula is there, but the spatial arrangement of atoms or group of atoms is different. There comes under stereoisomers. The stereoisomers are of two types. One is configurational isomer and conformational isomer. First one is configurational isomer and second one is conformational isomer. First we are going to see that configurational isomer. After that we will go to the conformational isomer. Okay, so this configurational isomers are again two types. First we are going to see that configurational isomer. So what is meant by configurational isomers? These isomers are formed when there is a no rotation of bond in the molecule. If there is no rotation of a bond in the molecule, then we are going to get the configurational isomer. Okay, na? So there is some restriction in the CC bond rotation. So in such cases what happens? Configurational isomers are formed. So in such cases how the atoms will be arranged in a space? By breakage of existing bonds and by reformation of new bond we are going to get the configurational isomers. Configurational isomers we are getting by breakage of existing bond and reformation of new bond we are going to get configurational isomer. These configurational isomers are of two types. One is geometrical isomer and second one is optical isomer. Second one is optical isomer. We will study detailed about geometrical isomer and optical isomer. First in this video we are going to see the complete study about geometrical isomer. So which type of compounds will form these geometrical isomers means generally alkenes and oxides and azides and cycloalkanes, cyclic compound. Okay, na? Cyclic compounds are also having there is a restriction in the rotation of bond. Cyclic compound CC bond cannot be rotated. So in such cases, in all these compounds, there is a restriction of bond rotation. Then these all compounds will participate in geometrical isomer. Now first we have to see what is meant by geometrical isomer. So geometrical isomers are nothing but the organic compound having same molecular formula, but the spatial arrangement of atoms or group of atoms around the multiple bonded, that is around the double bonded carbon. If you are taking the alkene, so around this double bonded carbon, if the same type of groups, the spatial arrangement of atoms around the double bonded group carbon atom is said to be geometrical isomer. Now here in case of oximes, that is C double bond O NOH groups are called oximes. Here OH is there, this nitrogen has the lone pair with reference to OH and lone pair of electron. In case of azides, we have double bond and with one lone pair here. So and here also with one lone pair, here one more bond will be there based on. That is cyclic compounds will have the restriction of rotation around this multiple bond if the different types of atoms are arranged in different side of the double bond. So based on that arrangement of atoms or group of atom around the double bonded atoms, we are going to get the geometrical isomer. Geometrical isomers are of different types are they. So that is first one in that cis-trans isomer. Okay, now first type is what? Cis and trans isomer. So second type of geometrical isomer is what? Here syn and anti isomer. Okay, you can take the EZ isomer, E and Z isomer. After that syn and anti isomer, syn and anti isomer. These are the major three types of geometrical isomer. EZ isomer, syn and anti, cis and trans. Cis-trans isomerism is possible in case of alkenes, and syn and anti isomerism is possible in case of oximes and azides. In cycloalkanes we will get cis and trans isomer only. Okay, now let's get into the video of these geometrical isomers one by one. First, what is mean by cis isomer? What is mean by trans isomer? Okay, those we are going to see one by one. Okay, so now let's get into the geometrical isomers here in stereoisomer. First isomer we are going to see geometrical isomer. Now we are taking cis and trans. Now we are talking about cis and trans. So now how we can define the geometrical isomers here? The organic compounds having a same molecular formula but differ in their arrangement of atoms around the double bonded carbon is called geometrical isomers. The geometrical isomers are formed by the, what are the conditions to form this geometrical isomers means, conditions, the double bonded carbon must be bonded with different atoms. It must have the restriction of rotation of bond. If it has the multiple bond, that is double bond is there means, there is no possibility of rotation of bond because the double bond how it is perpendicular to one another. Say for example, now we have the what, these are the three orbital px, py, pz. Okay, now this is px orbital, this is py orbital, this is pz orbital. When these orbitals are end to end overlapping, then what happens? We are going to get one sigma bond. After that, these two pi bonds, how they are? These two p orbitals, so parallel to one another. In between these two, one pi bond is formed. Now next pi bond is formed here. These two pi bonds, how they are? Perpendicular to each other. This pi bond and this pi bond, how they are? Perpendicular to each other. So pi bonds are like this. They are not like this. Okay, na? So the bonds are, the two pi bonds are not like this. So they are present like this perpendicular. Now if the same type of atoms are present on the same side of the double bond, then it is called cis. If the same type of atoms or group of atoms present on opposite side, then it is called trans isomer. Now we will see here. So what are the condition? It must be, condition must be restriction of rotation, restriction of rotation of CC bond, rotation of CC bond means the carbon-carbon bond should not be rotated. That is first condition. And second condition is the double bonded carbon atom must have the different atom. The double bonded carbon, the double bonded carbon must be bonded with different atoms, with different atoms or group of atoms, with different atoms or group of atoms. So those are the conditions. Now say for example A is there, here A, B is there. Can it show geometrical isomer? This is a double bonded carbon which has the same type of atoms. So it should not be, it is not obeying the second condition. There is a restriction in bond rotation, but it is not obeying the second condition. That is, same type of atoms are attached to the double bonded carbon. It must be different bonded, the double bonded carbon must be bonded with different atoms or group of atoms. It will not show. And also you take another one, this is B, this is B, this is A and B. It is also not show. If you take all the same type of atoms also, it will not show. AA, here also AA, it will not show. BB also it will not show. It must be what? Different. The double bonded carbon must be different. Here A, B, and here B, A. And you take the another one, here B, A is there, here B, A is there. Now you see here, these are the double bonded carbon A and B. On the double bonded carbon, different atoms. This is double bonded carbon, different atom. Double bonded carbon, different atom. Now you see here, the same type of atoms are present on the opposite side of the double bond. This is double bond. Now one A is here, another A is here. One A is here, another A is here. How these two A are? How they are? Opposite side of the double bond. So when the multiple bonds, when the same type of atoms or group of atoms are present on the opposite side of the double bond, that isomer is called trans isomer. If the same type of atoms are present on the same side of the double bond, then it is called cis isomer. These two comes under geometrical isomer. Now you take the another example here. So if you have completely all are different, that is A, B, C, D. So it also shows the geometrical isomer, that is which type of geometrical isomerism it will? E and Z isomer. When all the bonded atoms are different, then it will show the E and Z isomer. Now we will see some example for this cis and trans isomer. Okay. Now let's get into some example. Have you understood the conditions and which type of alkene will show the geometrical isomer? Now next we are going to see the example for the cis trans isomer. Examples of cis and trans isomer. Cis and trans isomer. Now you take the 1,2-dichloroethane. 1,2-dichloroethane. Now same type of atom, same side, so it is called cis isomer. Now you take here the two chlorine atoms are present on the opposite side of the double bond. You have to remember that double bond is like this. It is perpendicular one. So it is front side, it is back side. If the same type of atoms are present on the same side, then it is called cis. Now if it is present on opposite side, then it is called trans isomer. Now you take the cis to butane, trans to butane. Here CH3. Okay. Now here H. Here H. It is CH3. It is H. Now you see here both the group of atoms are opposite side. Same type of atoms are on opposite side or group of atoms on the opposite side, then it is called trans isomer. Now for this cis isomer will be the methyl group. Two methyl groups are on the same side and two hydrogens are on the same side. Then it is called cis isomer. And you take the malic acid and fumaric acid. So you take malic acid and fumaric acid. So this is malic acid COOH. H. Okay now. This is malic acid. This malic acid is more stable one because in between these two acid groups are on the same side of the double bond. These both two involve in hydrogen bonding. Okay now. But whereas in case of fumaric acid what happens? So COOH and both acid functional groups are on the opposite side. Then there is no formation of hydrogen bonding. It is called trans. It is name is what? Fumaric acid. It is fumaric acid. Now it is malic acid. Malic acid is cis. So the cis form of malic acid is more stable. Generally trans compounds are more stable than the cis compounds. Okay, but whereas in case of here due to hydrogen bonding, this malic acid is more stable one compared to fumaric acid. Is that clear? So next when we have all the bonded atoms are different on the double bonded carbon, then which type of isomers? Second type of isomer, that is E isomer, E and Z isomer. E and Z isomer. What is mean by E and Z here? E indicates antacen. E indicates antacen. Antacen. Okay, antacen indicates what? It is a German word. It is what? German word, which means that opposite side. Opposite to each other. Opposite to each other. So Z indicates the what? Jussamine. Z indicates jussamine. Jussamine. So the jussamine indicates, it is also German word, which is together. Okay now. So together. So opposite to each other it is same side, same, or it is indicates the what, together, together. So that is Jessamine indicates the what, same priority groups are on the same side. We have to give the here. So the double bonded carbons are there here. Say for example, these are bonded with different atoms, no, A, B, here C, D. Now we have to give the what, the priority to the double bonded carbon atoms, which is the high priority and which is low priority. If the same priority groups are on same side, if same priority groups are on same side, or on same of double bond, same side, then we have to give the Z isomer. Then it is Z isomer. If opposite side, if the same priority groups are on opposite side, then it is said to be E isomer. Is that clear? Now we'll take the here. Say for example, it is first priority, it is second priority. Now it is first priority, it is second priority. So same priority groups are on the same side of the double bond, then it is called Z isomer. So same molecule I am going to write here. So C double bond O, here A, here B. Now here I am writing D and C. Now it is A is given first priority, B is given second priority, C is given first priority, D is given second priority. So same priority groups are on opposite side, then it is called E isomer. Is that clear? What is mean by E isomer? What is mean by Z isomer? Now to assign these priorities, we have some rules are there. So who assigned those rules? Kahn-Ingold Prelog rules are there. That is CIP rules are there. Okay, na? So they given the CIP is what? It is a 3 persons. One is Kahn, another one is Ingold, another one is Prelog. So how we have IUPAC names, here also CIP rules are there. CIP rules. What are CIP rules here? CIP is nothing but Kahn-Ingold Prelog rules. Kahn-Ingold Prelog rules. Kahn-Ingold Prelog rules. Now what are the Kahn-Ingold Prelog rules? We are going to see now one by one. Very important. So rule 1 is what here? So we have to give the priority according to their atomic numbers. According to atomic numbers. According to atomic number. Which is having more atomic number, that is given first priority. According to atomic number. Rule 1. Which is having a more atomic number, that is given first priority. Rule 2 is what here? So if the same atomic number is there, then we have to follow the atomic weight. If same atomic weight, atomic number, same atomic number, then give numbers, then follow the atomic weights. Follow atomic weights. That is, which is having more atomic weight, that is given first priority. Okay. So if same atomic number is there, then we have to see the atomic weight. In case of what? In case of isotopes, we have to follow this second rule. Say for example, now here hydrogen is there, here methyl is there. Now here chlorine is there, bromine is there. Now you see here double bonded carbons are completely 4 group of atoms or atoms will be completely 4 are different. Then among hydrogen and carbon, which is a directly bonded carbon here? So directly bonded atom is carbon here. Directly bonded atom is hydrogen, which is having more atomic number, carbon. So it is given first priority. It is given second priority. Now among these chlorine and bromine, which is having more atomic number, bromine, first priority. It is second priority. So same priority groups are on same side, then it is called Z isomer. Is that clear? Now if it is, if you are taking the here hydrogen and deuterium. Now in this case bromine and here chlorine. Now among these two, which is given first priority? Both are having same atomic number. Hydrogen and deuterium are the isotopes. Atomic number is 1, but mass number is 1 here, hydrogen. For deuterium it will be 2. So which is given first priority? So hydrogen is given second priority, deuterium is given first priority. We have to follow the second rule. Which is having more atomic weight, that is given first priority. Among this bromine and chlorine, which is having more atomic number? Bromine. After that chlorine. Now same priority groups are on opposite sides, so it is called E isomer. Is that clear? So rule number 2 and rule number 1, for each one I had given you one example. Now if same atomic number and atomic weight we have to follow, if we have the water, if the bonded atom, the double bonded carbon is bonded with the same type of atom, we have to check for the next bonded atom. Okay na? If bonded atom is same, if bonded atom is same, check for next bonded atom. Next bonded atom. So if it is first bonded atom is same, so we have to check for the next bonded atom. Okay na? It must be directly bonded. Say for example double bonded carbon. Here CH3 is there. Here CH2, CH3 is there. Now in this case what happens here? You take the another one, that is here hydrogen is there. Here you take the chlorine. Now in this case both are first bonded atom is same. Next bonded atom for this carbon will be hydrogen. For this carbon will be here carbon is there. One more carbon. Here two hydrogen, two hydrogen. Next another hydrogen is there. But here another carbon is there. So which is having more atomic weight here, more molecular weight for this one. So it is given first priority. It is given second priority. Among these two, this is given first priority. It is given second priority. So same priority groups are on same side. So Z isomer. Is that clear? Z isomer. Now next rule 4. Now what is rule 4 here? Rule 4 is now in this case, if we have the any double bonded carbon is present, then we have to consider that if any double bonded atom is there, say for example C double bond O, here H, here Cl is there, Cl is there. Here in this case CH2OH is there. Here what we have? C double bond O, C double bond OH is there. Now which is given first priority here? Aldehyde or this alcohol? Now in this case what we have to do? This C double bond O is there, no? This C double bond O indicates this carbon is bonded with a 2 oxygen atom. According to CIP rules, this double bond O indicates the water. This carbon is bonded with the 2 oxygen atoms. Similarly, this oxygen, each oxygen is bonded with the 2 carbon atoms. Is that clear? Then double bonded carbon containing oxygen is given. Double bonded atoms are given first priority. So first we have to give this priority. After that this one. Okay na? So in this case first one, it is second one. This is what? Z isomer. Is that clear? EZ isomer, I think so you have understood. Now we will see some example here. Some example. So CIP rules are very important. So you have to follow this CIP rule. Just you follow the atomic weight simply. So if you follow the atomic weight, then it is very easy for identifying EZ isomer. Now you see here, I am taking one example here. Now tell me here which isomer it is. Now this carbon, this double bonded carbon here. Now is there any isomer for this double bonded carbon here? No isomer, because the double bonded carbon has the same type of bonded atom. So it will not participate in geometrical isomer. This is double bonded carbon which has one hydrogen. It also has the one hydrogen. Now these two hydrogens are opposite sides. So cis isomer. In case of E and Z isomer, you can give here carbon atom is the bonded atom, so first priority, it is second priority. Here the carbon is the bonded atom, first priority, second priority. Same priority groups are on same, sorry, it is not cis, trans it is. So trans, opposite side, no? So same priority groups are on opposite sides, so it is called E isomer. Is that clear? So now in this case, this is double bonded carbon, double bonded carbon. So this double bonded carbon has the one hydrogen, here one hydrogen is there. Now it is given second priority, it is given first priority. Here it is given second priority, first priority. So same priority groups are on opposite side, then it is called E isomer, it is also trans isomer. Here you see the same type of atoms present on the same side, then it is called cis isomer, it is also called Z isomer. It is also cis and Z. It is also, now in this case you see, here hydrogen, here one hydrogen, it is trans isomer. Okay, so now you take these carbon atoms, here CH3 is there, it is given first priority, second priority, first priority, second priority. So E isomer. In most of the cases, trans will gives you E isomer, cis will gives you Z isomer, but not in all cases. Okay, na? So don't follow like that blindly. So you have to give the priority. After that only you should check. Yeah, we'll see the syn and anti isomers here. Syn and anti isomers are formed in oximes as well as in azo compound. How you are going to get the oximes here? This is aldehyde. When react with hydroxylamine, so what happens? This oxygen and this water molecule, this hydrogen is removed in the form of water molecule. Then we are going to get C double bond O N OH. This nitrogen has one lone pair. Okay, na? So with reference to this OH and this hydrogen, we can say that if the OH group and hydrogen on the same side of the double bond, then it is called syn. If it is present on the opposite side, then it is called trans isomer, anti isomer. Syn means same side of the double bond. OH group and hydrogen, if it is present on the same side of the double bond, then it is called syn isomer. If the OH group and hydrogen are present on the opposite side of the double bond, then it is called anti isomer. Now here, so which not only aldehydes, here ketones also participate. Which type of ketones here? Unsymmetrical ketone. What is meant by unsymmetrical ketones here? Whatever the alkyl group which are bonded to the double bonded carbon should be different one. That is called unsymmetrical ketone. React with hydroxylamine, we are going to get the ketoxime. It is ketoxime, it is aldoxime. Now these are based on the priority order. OH and high priority groups are on the same side, then it is called syn isomer. Opposite side, anti isomer. Now you see here, the hydrogen and OH are present opposite to each other, then it is called anti isomer. Okay, na? So now the OH and the hydrogen are present on the same side, then it is called syn isomer. Hydrogen and OH are present on the same side. This lone pair is given first priority. When we are comparing this hydroxide group and lone pair is given first priority. This is methyl is first priority. Hydrogen is second priority. OH is second priority. So opposite side. So lone pair is given first priority. This is second priority. Here it is first priority, second priority. Same priority groups are on same side, syn isomer. Now unsymmetrical alkene, here it is given first priority. So here it is second priority. It is first priority, second priority. Then it is called syn isomer. Okay, na? Then it is called syn isomer. Now in this case, OH second priority. Here it is first priority, second priority. It is called anti isomer. Is that clear? Now in this case, in case of azo compounds are nothing but N double bond N compounds are said to be azo compounds. So in this case, azo compound with reference to this lone pair of electron. If the lone pair of electrons are on the opposite side of the double bond, then it is called anti isomer. If the lone pair of electrons are present on the same side of the double bond, then it is called syn isomer. Next we are seeing the geometrical isomer in case of cyclic compound. In case of cycloalkanes. Because in cycloalkanes also what happens? The rotation of CC bond is not takes place. The rotation of CC bond is restricted. Now you take the cyclopropane. In case of cyclopropane, here the rotation of CC bond is restricted. Hydrogen, chlorine. Now these two same type of atoms present on the opposite side, then it is called trans isomer. Okay, na? If we have the same type of groups are on the same side of the cyclic ring, that is chlorine, chlorine, hydrogen, hydrogen, then it is called cis isomer. Okay, na? You take like that different types of compound. In case of cyclopropane, you take in case of here CH3, CH3, here hydrogen and hydrogen. In cyclopropane, it is called a trans isomer. If it is both methyl groups are on same side, then it is called cis isomer. It is called cis isomer. But whereas in case of more than 3 carbon containing cyclic chains are there, like cyclobutane, cyclopentane and cyclohexane, it is completely different. In cyclohexane we have different isomers are there. Those we will see in the next video. Okay na? So here geometrical isomer, just to remember here, if the same type of atoms are present on the same side, then it is called cis, opposite side trans. Is that clear? Yes, we will see the number of geometrical isomers in polyenes. That is, more than one bond, double bond is there. How many geometrical isomers are possible? If it is only one double bond is there, means cis and trans are possible. If we have more than one double bond, that is what we are calling polyenes. In case of polyenes, there are two cases are there, case 1 and case 2. In case 1, what if the given alkene is unsymmetrical one? That is, it must be if you are breaking that alkene and if you are getting equal parts. Now you are breaking this one, you are getting the equal parts when R1 is not equal to R2. So these two are not equal, then it is called unsymmetrical. If this R1 and R2 are equal, if R1 and R2 are equal, then it is called symmetrical alkene. Okay na? Means any alkene if you are breaking with an plane by passing an imaginary plane, if you are breaking into two equal halves, then it has the symmetry. If it is not breaked into equal parts, then it is called unsymmetrical alkene. R1 and R2 are not equal, then it is called unsymmetrical alkene. In case of unsymmetrical alkene, number of geometrical isomers will be 2 power n. What is n here? The number of bonds, number of double bonds here. So, say for example, we are taken here. N indicates what? Number of double bonds. Now, here how many double bonds are there here? 1 double bond, 2 double bond. Whether it is symmetrical one or an unsymmetrical one. If you are breaking from here, so you are getting the two unequal parts. So, it is an unsymmetrical alkene. So, now here what happens? 2 power. How many double bonds are there? 2. 2 power 2 is 4. So, for this molecule, how many geometrical isomers are possible? 4 geometrical isomers are possible. Is that clear? You can take different number of example and you can solve those. Now, symmetrical alkene. For symmetrical alkene, R1 is equal to R2. So, if you are getting two equal parts, then such type of alkenes are called symmetrical alkene. Here in symmetrical alkene, number of geometrical isomers is equal to 2 power n minus 1 plus 2 power p minus 1. What is n here? Number of double bonds. So in case of symmetrical alkene, what is the number of geometrical isomers formula? 2 power n minus 1 plus 2 power p minus 1. If n is even, then here what happens? Its p value will be p is equal to n by 2. When we have to take n by 2? When number of double bonds are even number of double bonds are there, we have to take the n by 2. If we have the odd number of double bond in symmetrical alkene, then what happens? N plus 1 by 2 you have to take. Now say for example this compound we are taken. Is this symmetrical alkene or not? Yes, it is a symmetrical alkene. If you are breaking from here, you will get the two equal parts. Is it or not? One imaginary plane which bisects the organic molecule into two equal parts, then it possesses the symmetrical, that plane of symmetry. Okay na? So which bisects into two planes, two compounds, equal parts. So it is symmetrical alkene. So symmetrical alkene with how many number of double bonds? 1, 2, 3. 3 double bonds. N is equal to 3. That is, it is an odd number. In case of odd number, number of geometrical isomers, that is P is equal to what happens? N plus 1 by 2. In case of odd. So that is 3 plus 1. That is 4 by 2. That is 2. P is equal to how much? 2. Then number of geometrical isomers formula will be, in case of symmetrical isomers, 2 power n minus 1 plus 2 power p minus 1. That is 2 power, how many, n value is how much? 3. 3 minus 1 plus 2 power 2 minus 1. P value is how much we got? 2. So then what happens? 2 power 3 minus 1 is nothing but 2 power 2 plus 2 power 2 minus 1 is nothing but 2. So 2 power 2 is 4, 4 plus 2, that is 6 isomers. 6 geometrical isomers are possible for this. Is that clear? So properties of geometrical isomers if you had seen. So isomers means they are having same molecular formula, means they are having same number of valence electron. Almost they are having similar chemical properties. Chemical properties mainly depends on the number of valence electrons. Okay na? So here these all are having the same type of functional group and same type of number of bonds, number of valence electrons. So they are having the similar chemical properties but have the different physical properties. Now which is having more physical properties we are going to see. Now first physical property is polarity of the molecule. Among cis and trans, which molecule is more polar? Cis molecules are more polar than the trans molecule. Say for example, these are the chlorine and hydrogen. Now this chlorine is more electronegative. It pulls the electron towards itself. It is also pulls the downward direction. The resultant moment of the bond pair of electron will be towards down. So it is more polar molecule when compared to the trans molecule. You see in case of trans, now the two chlorine atoms are on opposite side. So one chlorine will pull the electron pair downward because more electronegative. Another chlorine will move upside. Then what happens? Its resultant dipole moment will be cancelled out. So there what happens? It is a non-polar molecule. Trans is non-polar, cis is more polar one. Now if you had seen boiling point, among the cis and trans, generally polar molecules will have the more boiling point. Polar molecules have more boiling points. Polar molecules have more boiling points than non-polar molecules. Okay na? Generally, which is polar one? Cis is polar molecule, than the trans is non-polar molecule. Now solubility, which is more soluble? Polar molecules are more soluble. That is, cis is more soluble than the trans. Next, if you had taken the density and refractive index and dipole moment, okay na, refractive index, dipole moment and heat of combustion, which one will have all these physical properties will be highest for the cis isomer only. Whenever they given the which of the following compound has the more refractive index, more heat of combustion, more heat of more dipole moment, more density, more solubility, more boiling point, which is the more polar molecule, then blindly you have to select the cis one. Cis compounds are having more polarity, more boiling point and solubility, high density, refractive index, dipole moment and heat of combustion. But whereas if you take the melting point mainly depends on the crystal lattice of the molecule. If you are taking the trans molecule, here in trans molecule what happens? So that same type of atoms are present on the opposite side. So they are having some center of symmetry. From the center, whatever the distance of this hydrogen is also present in the same distance. Here also this chlorine, how much it is distance? This chlorine is also present in the same distance. So it has some center of symmetry. So then what happens? It is fits in the crystal lattice perfectly. So the particles are very tightly packed. So then they are having the more melting point. Trans compounds are having more melting point than cis. And stability. Now you see here, if the two chlorine atoms are on same side, each chlorine contains the 3 lone pair of electrons. These lone pair repulsions are more extent when they are present on the same side of double bond. If they are present on the opposite side, then repulsions are less, then its stability is more. So melting point and stability will be what? More for the trans, remaining all will be cis. It is very important one. So many times they are going to ask in these questions. So that's it about detailed about geometrical isomers. You won't miss any question by learning this concept, and you try to practice more number of questions. So at the end of the isomers, I am going to explain the most important and previously asked questions also I am going to explain, in that no doubt. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep watching Appa Chemistry classes.